The summer transfer window is slowly beginning to heat up, and one name that continues to generate discussion around the Women's Super League is Chelsea forward Aggie Beever Jones. The England international is reportedly in talks over a possible contract extension at Chelsea, but despite those discussions, interest from Manchester United has not disappeared. That alone tells you everything you need to know about how highly rated she is across English football. At just 22 years old, Aggie Beever Jones already represents the modern profile every top club wants in a forward. She is quick, intelligent off the ball, technically clean under pressure, and capable of playing both through the middle and from the left side. Manchester United's reported admiration is not random. It is strategic. It is targeted. And most importantly, it makes sense when you study the current direction of the club and the tactical identity Marc Skinner has been trying to build over the last 2 seasons. When you first look at her raw numbers from the 2025 and 2026 campaign, some people may immediately say 4 league goals and 1 assist is not enough to create this much transfer attention. But football is never just about surface statistics. Clubs now analyze movement, pressing intensity, chance quality, off-ball intelligence, expected threat, transitional impact, and positional flexibility. That is where Aggie Beever Jones becomes extremely interesting. Across 948 league minutes, she has recorded 4 goals from an expected goals value of 4.55, meaning her finishing has closely matched the quality of chances she receives. That is actually a positive indicator because it shows consistency rather than unsustainable overperformance. She is not relying on miracle moments or lucky finishing streaks. Her output reflects her movement and positioning inside dangerous areas. One of the first things that stands out in her profile is the amount of touches she records inside the opposition box. 67 touches in dangerous attacking areas across limited minutes is a strong indicator for a young forward still developing. Players who naturally find dangerous positions are incredibly difficult to teach. Some forwards spend entire careers struggling with timing and movement. Aggie already possesses those instincts. She understands when to drift away from defenders. She recognizes moments to attack spaces between center backs and full backs. She anticipates rebounds and second balls quickly. These are details scouts obsess over because elite movement creates goals long before the actual shot happens. Now imagine her inside this Manchester United setup. Imagine her making those runs alongside players like Jess Park, Ella Toone, Fridolina Rolfo, and Melvin Mallet. Suddenly the idea becomes even more dangerous. United have improved massively in transitional attacks this season. They are at their best when the game becomes vertical and aggressive. Aggie Beever Jones fits that style perfectly because she constantly wants to move forward. She wants to attack space early. She does not slow the tempo down unnecessarily. She wants direct actions. That aggressive mentality is exactly why clubs continue monitoring her situation, despite Chelsea trying to secure her future. Another important point is versatility. Modern football demands attackers who can rotate positions naturally during matches. Aggie can play centrally as a striker, but she is also comfortable drifting wide from the left side. That flexibility matters enormously over a long season. Injuries happen. Tactical changes happen. Rotations happen. Managers no longer want specialists who can only operate in one zone. They want adaptable forwards capable of changing structures without substitutions. Aggie offers that. Her background at Chelsea has also exposed her to high-pressure environments from a young age. Training daily in a squad filled with elite internationals accelerates development rapidly. That experience cannot be underestimated. What also makes this situation fascinating is the wider context surrounding Manchester United's attack. Questions continue to surround the future of certain forwards of the club. Contract situations remain unresolved. Some players are attracting interest from elsewhere. Others are approaching key stages in their careers. United clearly need to plan ahead rather than react late. Aggie Beever Jones represents a potential long-term investment rather than a short-term panic signing. At 22, she still has years of growth ahead of her while already possessing valuable WSL and Champions League experience. If you watch her carefully, you immediately notice the aggression in her pressing. That part of her game will absolutely attract Marc Skinner. United's second-half dominance this season has often come from their ability to suffocate opponents physically after halftime. They increase pressing intensity. They force mistakes high up the pitch. They create chaos around tired defenders. Aggie contributes heavily in that area. Her defensive contributions may not look enormous statistically with 16 recorded actions, but the raw numbers do not always capture pressing triggers, forced rushed passes, or positional pressure. Coaches study those details extensively. A forward willing to press aggressively immediately becomes valuable in elite systems. Her passing numbers are also quietly impressive for a forward. 84.1% passing accuracy shows composure in possession. She does not waste the ball carelessly. She can participate in build-up combinations while still remaining aggressive in attacking transitions. Her 228 successful passes show involvement beyond simply waiting inside the box. That combination of technical security and forward movement is attractive for possession-based sides. Now let us talk about Chelsea, because this is where the situation becomes even more dramatic. Chelsea are not a club that easily loses talented young English players, especially not to domestic rivals. If Aggie signs a new contract, Chelsea likely view her as an important part of their long-term attacking future. But the reported interest from Manchester United creates pressure because it signals there are clubs prepared to offer a bigger role and potentially more guaranteed importance. Young players today do not only chase trophies. They also chase development, minutes, and responsibility. That balance matters massively. At Chelsea, competition for attacking places is relentless. Every week feels like a battle against world-class internationals. While that environment sharpens players, it can also limit consistent rhythm. Aggie has started 11 league matches this season and appeared in 17 overall. Those are solid numbers, but not fully guaranteed starter numbers. Manchester United may see an opportunity there. They may believe they can offer a clearer pathway toward becoming a centerpiece attacker rather than simply another rotational option inside a crowded Chelsea squad. Her Champions League performances also reveal interesting details. While she has not scored in Europe yet this season, she still managed 1 assist across 228 minutes. More importantly, she continued finding dangerous areas with 22 touches inside the opposition box from limited appearances. That shows confidence at elite level rather than fear. Many young players disappear in European football because the intensity rises dramatically. Aggie still attempts shots, attacks spaces, and remains active. That mentality matters. One thing Manchester United supporters would absolutely appreciate is her directness. Too often modern forwards overcomplicate situations. They hesitate. They recycle possession endlessly. Aggie prefers attacking actions. She attempts dribbles. She drives toward defenders. She commits defenders physically even when success rates are not perfect. 17 successful dribbles at 50% accuracy indicates willingness to take responsibility in 1-versus-1 situations. That courage is important because fearless attackers change games. Another layer to this conversation is nationality and identity. English talent inside the WSL carries huge value commercially and competitively. Clubs want core domestic players who understand league intensity and culture. Aggie Beever Jones already has England international recognition, which increases her profile even further. For Manchester United, adding another elite young English player would strengthen both football identity and long-term squad planning. The psychological side is also fascinating. Leaving Chelsea would require enormous courage because it means stepping away from stability and familiarity. But sometimes football careers are defined by brave decisions. Jess Park crossed the Manchester divide and elevated her status dramatically. Players increasingly prioritize environments where they feel central rather than peripheral. If Aggie believes Manchester United would build around her growth more aggressively, the possibility becomes real despite Chelsea's contract efforts. There is also the tactical connection with Ella Toone that could become extremely dangerous. Toone thrives when forwards make aggressive runs behind defensive lines early. Aggie's movement naturally complements creative midfielders. She does not constantly demand the ball into feet. She stretches defensive structures vertically. That creates passing lanes for creators. Football partnerships are often about complementary instincts rather than individual talent alone. On paper, her profile matches several of United's strongest creators beautifully. Physically, she still has room to develop further as well. At 22, most forwards continue building strength, consistency, and composure. That makes her ceiling even more exciting. Clubs are not only evaluating current production, they are projecting future versions of players 3 or 4 years ahead. Manchester United's recruitment strategy increasingly appears focused on identifying players before they fully explode into global stars. Aggie fits that model perfectly. Fans sometimes underestimate how important mentality is during recruitment. Coaches constantly speak with staff, teammates, and analysts behind the scenes. They want to know how players react after bad performances, how they train, how they recover mentally after mistakes. Aggie's pathway through Chelsea's academy system suggests resilience already exists within her character. Surviving and progressing inside one of England's most demanding environments requires strong mentality. There is also the England national team factor. International football selection often depends on consistent club importance. If Aggie wants to secure a bigger long-term role for England, regular starting football becomes increasingly crucial. Competition inside the Lionesses' setup is brutal. Every forward position is contested heavily. Players cannot afford stagnation during key development years. That reality may influence future decisions significantly. Her numbers in aerial duels are quietly encouraging too. Winning over 40% of aerial battles as a forward shows competitiveness rather than passivity. Modern attacking systems value forwards who can fight physically, press aggressively, and contest long distributions. Aggie contributes in those areas. She is not simply a technical winger avoiding physical battles. She competes. The more you analyze this situation, the clearer it becomes why Manchester United would monitor her carefully. She fits multiple needs simultaneously: age profile, tactical flexibility, domestic experience, development potential, pressing intensity, transitional movement, technical security, European exposure. All those qualities matter in modern squad construction. At the same time, Chelsea will absolutely understand what they risk losing. Young English attackers with high ceilings are incredibly valuable assets. Allowing one to strengthen a direct rival would create major criticism. That is why contract negotiations become so important over the coming months. Chelsea likely want clarity quickly, while Manchester United may remain patient, waiting for opportunities to emerge naturally. From a fan perspective, this potential transfer would create enormous excitement because it represents ambition beyond simply chasing established stars. It would signal belief in building the next generation of elite English talent. That vision resonates strongly with supporters who want sustainable long-term growth rather than short-term fixes. Imagine Old Trafford on a big European night. Imagine Aggie Beever Jones running beyond defenders while Jess Park threads passes through midfield. Imagine Toon arriving late around the edge of the box while Malad drifts inside, creating overloads. Suddenly, the possibilities become incredibly exciting. Football transfers are rarely simple. Emotions, contracts, ambitions, and timing all collide together. Right now, Aggie Beever Jones stands at an important crossroads in her career. Chelsea want to secure her future. Manchester United are watching closely. And the player herself must decide what environment best suits her next stage of development. Whatever happens, one thing is undeniable. Aggie Beever Jones is becoming one of the most intriguing young attackers in English football. Her movement, intelligence, work rate, and versatility make her a player top clubs will continue tracking heavily. Whether she remains at Chelsea or eventually makes a dramatic move elsewhere, her trajectory points toward becoming a major figure in the Women's Super League for years to come.